Hey y'all, Patrick James, Cold Dead Hands, Black Coffee Perspectives, and now into the fray.
Yeah.
John Double Tap Britton.
Midnight Munchies, food for thought. Cold Dead Hands and into the fray. So,
what are we going to talk about today? Because you know what? We're kind of free balling.
Free falling.
Yeah, that's a shame. That's one that I really had a hard time. Is missing him, Tom Petty.
Yep.
God, gotta hate the Tom Petty. Alex Trebek.
Oh yeah.
My gosh, how many people have we lost this year?
Oh, good Lord.
Man.
Sam Elliott. Well, no, he didn't die, but
no, but his credibility's pretty well shot.
I mean, he endorsed Joe Biden.
He switched over to wearing panties.
Oh, Sean Connery.
Oh, that one was a tough one.
That devastated my wife.
Yeah, that was a tough one.
Actually, Sean Connery and Sam Elliott both devastated my wife because they're the two men that she would cheat on me with in a heartbeat.
There's probably a few more, but...
Well, that she'll admit to.
That she'll admit to. Yeah, it's been a rough year. It's been a rough year. COVID.
And in case anybody's watching this like 20 years in the future, the year is 2020.
Yep.
We have been dealing with coronavirus, tyrants forcing people to wear masks.
Oh, Karens. We've been forced on by Karens.
Orange man bad. The presidential election from hell.
Yep. The office of the president-elect. We've gotten that one. That was a first.
Yep. Hoarding toilet paper.
Ammo
shortages.
Yeah.
But record gun sales.
Yeah, major television coverage of drug dealers' funerals.
Oh yeah.
That was a pretty amazing thought.
This is starting to sound like a year in review.
Yeah. Kneeling during the national anthem. Was that last year? I guess that was last year. It was definitely a throw over.
And how about the NFL and NBA and all the other virtue signaling professional sports?
Yeah.
Virtue signaling. That's a thing.
Body shaming. I've heard these terms, body shaming. You do it to me all the time. You call me fat. But
no, I call you short and fat.
Well, see, body shaming. You're tall and skinny like a bean. If you turn sideways and stick your tongue out, you look like a zipper. Is that body shaming?
I have to run around in the shower to get wet.
You have an Apache beard. I have a beard to my eyeballs. It is no shave November.
Okay, Sasquatch.
But I don't have hair on my back. Well, I might have a little bit. But not a sweater.
Boy, we are really going down the rabbit hole now.
We are stretching. We're looking for topics, so we're pulling topics from our social media pages. I know. All the radical left evangelical Christians. I like this one. Professing to support a guy who agrees that the killing of innocent lives, the murder of innocent lives, is okay. Now, I mean, you can agree with Joe Biden's politics, although for 50 years I've seen nothing that resembles any constitutionality in any of his words or anything he's ever done.
But he's a moderate. He's a faith-filled person.
Faith? What faith?
He's a Catholic, is he?
Well,
claim to be?
I'm going to tell you, if he's a Catholic and he's propping up some of the initiatives he's propping up, then I don't have a whole lot of faith in religion, established religion.
Organized religion.
Yeah. Denominations of religion. I don't have a whole lot of faith in the denominations. But if he if he actually is propped up by a church with his positions, I'm not sure I could have much faith in that.
Well, I mean, the new Pope himself is not exactly a traditional Catholic.
No, that's true. That's true. So
you know,
what is this?
I was raised Southern Baptist. And, of course, Southern Baptists and Catholics mix like oil and water.
That's kind of like an Assembly of God, or, you know,
And,
speaking in tongues, or...
You know, I was always told that, you know, Catholicism was a pantheon, a pantheistic religion,
Yeah.
basically elevating the saints and the Virgin Mary to help get in good with the pagans that they were trying to convert. I could do a whole litany on Catholics in general.
Yeah.
I'm not anti-Catholic.
No.
Some of my best friends are Catholics. I've gone to Catholic Mass with my friends.
I have too.
Now you want to do an aerobics workout, go to Catholic Mass.
I'll tell you.
Stand up, sit down, kneel up, stand up.
I've listened to a lot of great priests.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not exactly sure why they were in a Catholic church, because everything I've ever heard about a Catholic church just didn't add up to what they were talking about. But they were great speakers and understood the relationship with Christ a whole lot better than I thought Catholics actually did.
And before we sound too much like we're beating up on Catholics,
No, we're not.
you know,
I beat up on most religions.
Evangelicals have their own issues.
They do.
Oh yeah, I mean the whole, what is it, the prosperity gospels? You know, the
Yep,
Joel
absolutely.
Osteens and
The grace, it's all about grace. Yeah, there's a lot of itchy-eared Christians out there for sure.
oh yeah, people. I don't care if it's a politician, a pastor, a priest. People will tell you what you want to hear.
Yep.
If they have something to gain in doing so.
Yep.
And I have got Mike Pence's fly over here.
That's because we're in the shop. The
That's
shop
bugging the
doors
hell
are
out of me.
open. It's Texas. It's what, 60-some degrees out, though you look like you're shaking like a leaf on a tree, so I'm sure you're cold.
I'm born and bred Texan, so yes, I am cold. You're a Michigander transplant, so...
Yeah, but the antifreeze was changed a while back. I've lived in South Carolina and Texas for far too long. Trust me, I don't like the cold any more than you do, but it's not that cold in here.
But that's not what we're talking about.
No, it's not. We are talking about COVID.
I thought we were talking about evangelicals and Joe Biden and Catholics and...
Well, we are, but doesn't that kind of wind itself around the masking?
Oh, yeah.
You got to be a good
Okay.
Christian, right?
Oh, yeah. I see where you're going there.
Because
I wasn't following. They probably weren't following, so now we're on the same road here.
Well, I mean, think about it. You're wearing a mask to protect others.
And if you're not wearing a mask, you don't care about others.
Exactly. So I guess I haven't cared about anybody but myself throughout the whole COVID thing, because I only have worn a mask in hospital settings.
Or when you had to, in order to access some business or...
Usually, now in the beginning, I did wear a mask into some of those establishments. Now I bust through the door like, woohoo! Stop me. Stop me. Tell me at the door I'm not coming in.
Come at me, bro.
Yeah, I've got this thing from my doctor that I'm prone to bacterial pneumonia, so wearing a mask actually accentuates the possibilities of bacterial pneumonia. So, yeah, go ahead, stop me, and we'll discuss it. And if you're still going to be on the side of the overzealous Karen,
But, you know,
then I'll probably go somewhere else.
That's just part of the collective mindset that they're trying to push.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's the democratic socialists or preachers and priests, it's a collectivism that is being put forward not only through media or through politics, but through religion. You know,
I was told the other day in a comment, since this is about social media commentary and that we've kind of made our lives surround social media commentary, and We do get paid kind of to do that sometimes. Sometimes. I was told that I wasn't, what was the right word? I wasn't very compassionate. Because I actually have told people that they were going to die. That was the whole reason. I'm not I was very compassionate of me.
Incompassionate.
Well,
uncompassionate?
They were being sarcastic.
Oh.
That I actually have held people's hands and prayed with them as they were dying because I had to tell them that they were going to die. The real world is like that.
Oh, yeah.
The real world is dirty when you get outside your little bubble.
I mean, you're literally dying from the day you're born.
Right. The leading cause of death
is life.
But when you say it to somebody and they're like, yeah, but my mom and dad just died this year from COVID. How old were your parents? Right, I lost my parents. They're both dead. Not from COVID, but they're both dead. And I held both their hands when they were dying. And they knew they were dying. And I knew they were dying. And none of us actually misunderstood either one of us in the whole scheme of they were dying and I knew they were dying. I have told people that they were going to die. I just don't understand how somebody could say you had no compassion for people just
because you're supposed to pretend that we're all going to live happily ever after forever.
Right.
You know, everybody knows they're going to die. Nobody wants to face that fact, and certainly most people aren't looking forward to it. But
I just don't.
It's that. Oh, the word was right on the tip of my tongue.
I can't help you out because we don't have a script on this one, and you know that because
we're all over the place.
We are kind of rambling. I guess I don't understand it, how vicious people are getting about this whole virus thing. When, if you look at the stats alone, okay, in 1918, H1N1 came along. Now, it could have been here for a lot longer than that, but that's when they recognized that there was a virus that killed 675,000 people in this country alone. 675,000. We had 1 million people in the country, and it killed 0.5%? That's it, right? 675. It's a little more than 0.5% of our population. And it's come back several times since 1918. But the last time it came back was 2009 that we really know. And heard about 65 million cases.
Mm-hmm. Now, it wasn't as lethal as it was before.
No.
And probably because some people, there's something called T-cell immunity. Mm-hmm. That people who have been exposed to something in the past develop a genetic level immunity. And
if they're exposed to it.
And it can also be passed down. I mean, even with COVID, there's some research out there that says people who are type O blood are less likely to get it. You know? So every virus has a certain target demographic. Mm-hmm. And, of course, 100 years ago, sanitation, medical care,
well, they were
like that were a lot.
They were masking in 1918.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, this isn't like it was something brand new. But
oh, you can go look up the old articles.
Yeah.
And they could have been written today.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean,
the maskers, the anti-maskers, the debate whether they were effective or not. It was all there then. It's all here now. We are reliving history. We're reliving a lot of history in this year alone.
Yeah.
And people with their short-term focus are not looking at the big picture.
Well,
and it's like just like the Karens and the masks.
Yeah.
You know, I've been told by the idiot box that I watch, or the little idiot box that I carry in my pocket, that if you're not wearing a mask, you don't care about me. And if you don't care about me, you're an evil, awful person. You must be a Nazi or something.
Mm-hmm.
And it's that level of division and dismissiveness that leads to what happened in D.C.
Yeah.
You know, they had what they call it, the Million MAGA March.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, the counter-protesters didn't engage with anybody during the march when there was literally tens, hundreds of thousands of people there.
No, they do like they always do.
They attacked them as they're headed back to their hotel or headed to the restaurant. And, you know, because they have been told that these people in red hats with Trump flags are literally evil.
Yep. We're the devil.
They weren't wearing a mask. They were wearing a red hat. They had a flag with the president's name on it. They are evil, and you can do with
whatever,
them what you will. You know, the ends justify the means.
That's exactly right. Even though COVID is only claimed 0.001% death rate.
Yep, it's got, well,
what is it? 200,000 dead?
I think we're up over 230,000 now, out of what, 330 million people.
I'm not even sure I don't think we've reached the positive cases that we reached H1N1.
Oh no, H1N1 had something like
65 million.
65 million positive cases. We're only up around the 7 million,
and yet they want to shut down the government again. They want to shelter us in place again.
You know, and if you cared,
is this a narrative?
If you cared, you would comply.
Is this a narrative, or is this reality? Is this real? I mean, the experts can't tell you anything definitive. They're not telling you anything definitive except wear a mask.
No. There are experts that are telling you definitive things, but they don't match the narrative, so they don't get covered. You know, you hear, follow the science. I'm going to listen to the scientists. I'm going to follow this. Which science are you following?
Yep.
Are you following the science that gives you the power to lock down everything? Or are you following the science that says, you know, masks aren't effective? Something like 85% of cases were people who wore masks
religiously
all the time or most of the time. So how can a mask be effective if 85% of the cases were people who wore masks?
Shut it all down.
But
shut it all down. Issue everybody gas masks. And
you know, we started this off talking about the people we've lost this year, and talking about religion a little bit.
Yep.
Junk science.
Junk science.
Junk science is the new religion.
It is.
Well, the new secular religion.
Yep.
And they are every bit as zealous about it as any denomination.
Follow the science. Every Karen out there is telling you to follow the science. Well, I'm following the stats, and the stats aren't adding up. So tell me who's lying to who.
Well, unless you can actually understand and comprehend the science, you ain't following a damn thing.
No.
You're following what you're told. What you're told by the media, what you're told by politicians. And they're following the science that gives them more power.
Right. So anyways, this is Rant Video Times. We're fixing to cut this one and move on to another one.
And then we'll have to figure out what to name this one, because I have no idea what topic we were on.
Yeah, this was an amalgamation. So anyways, thanks for following along. We appreciate it. As we always say, if you want peace, prepare for war.